Hi everyone, it's QuickyBaby and welcome back to World of Tanks. And today I've got something really exciting for you as I promised, and that is gameplay of the Object 777 version 2. This vehicle will be the reward, well, one of the two new rewards, if you decide to extensively play frontline and also with the Steel Hunter game mode, or one or the other if you don't want to participate in each. And while the statistics are still subject to change on this tank, I guess Wargaming are feeling confident enough in it that they're going to be giving it to some of the content creators like me. So without further ado, today you're going to be getting all of my initial impressions of the Object 7772. And before I play my first ever game inside the vehicle, let's take a look to see how it stacks up statistically compared to some of its competition. So, the Object 7772 on the left, the very popular T10 in the center, and the 257 that leads on towards the IS-7 on the right. So, what does the Object 7772 have to look forward to if you're going to want to grind through all of that front line all over again in 2020? Well, it's definitely not the damage per minute. It's less than the T10 and the 257. Penetration, decent. It does also get really good heat rounds as well, as you would expect from Soviet 122mm caliber guns, 340mm of heat pen, although that's fairly standard. Everything else is pretty much the same as the T10, although it does carry extra ammunition. The gun handling on the vehicle is actually rather poor. 2.9 seconds, a little bit worse. The accuracy, 0.42, a little bit worse. The dispersion values as well, once again, a little bit worse. The vehicle gets an average kind of gun depression for a Soviet tank of 5 degrees. And its mobility is definitely less than that of the T10. As you can see, the T10 is green in all areas, meaning that the 777 is not competitive with regards to mobility compared to these other two tanks. So, surely it must come down to the armor, right? That's where the 7772 is going to be competitive, and yeah, kind of. Look at this thing's armor. 132 on the front, 115 on the side, and 45 at the rear. Well, actually, when you think about it, it doesn't sound that good, does it? 120 on the side and the front of the T10 and 130 on the 257, and we all know just how well angled the 257's hull armor is, which manages to make the tank pull off miracle bounces, and it feels like it's trying to pen the apocalypse because of this kind of boat-shaped hull. The 777, on the other hand, is actually no slouch when it comes to hull armor. We can see that the whole of the lower plate here, the weakest part, is 175, with some of the bands up the top about 250. So that means when you over-angle the front of the vehicle, yeah, all tier 7s and tier 8s practically have no chance of penetrating you, at least reliably. And the side armor on this vehicle is very chonky indeed, but it is flat. Do you see how flat it is? It's kind of got a little bit of a curvature on the upper half of the side armor, but apart from that, it is flat. That should make this thing actually pretty darn good at side scraping around corners, with its rather low profile and large tracks protecting the side of the tank from hopefully the heat rounds. And the turret armor just feels very substantial as well. It doesn't really have a very prominent cupola on top of the tank, and the top armor at 50mm means that nothing's going to be able to overmatch you apart from 152mm caliber guns. So don't get shot by any large caliber tank destroyers, otherwise you're going to regret it in the top of the turret. But everything else is just fair game for kind of sitting out in front of. I'm really looking forward to just seeing what kind of positions I can get such a hull-down Soviet tank with no weaknesses on the turret, right? But at least it looks like Wargaming have realized that this low-profile, hull-down Soviet tank usually ends up with the vehicle doing very well indeed, and they've kind of tuned down the statistics with regards to everything on this tank, including the view range, which is down to 380. Crew training-wise, the 7772 is identical to the Object 277, and so if you have one of the most popular Tier 10 Soviet heavy tanks in the game, then your crew are going to work perfectly inside this, even with having situational awareness and recon on your commander, as the commander also operates as the radio operator on this vehicle, and you're going to want to have to do everything that you can to min-max the view range of this vehicle, as 380 is not great for a Tier 9 tank. And I would go as far as to say as to not use vents on this vehicle, instead use coated optics, but I'm going to go with the vents just to try it out. One thing that does look like it's really nice about the 7772 is that it gets a free large repair kit that you can use as many times as you want. It won't cost you any credits, and so while this isn't going to have the same impact as a premium tank by making extra credits, you can use it as a reward vehicle to train your crew, and to have the free large repair kit is going to save you about 10,000 credits every battle, which is a nice little perk. So without further ado, I'm going to jump straight into the battle, and you're going to be seeing my first games live, so to say, in the 7772, as I'm going to be featuring this tank today, and I'm also going to be featuring tomorrow the new French reward medium tank on Sunday as well. Alright, so the 7772, we have spawned in on Tundra. We're in a tier 9 and a tier 8 matchup, and there's only one artillery to worry about. Alright, when I'm playing on this map in a tank like this, I'd probably want to take it to the hill. to the hill. I don't want to go down the west. I'm probably going to end up against T95 and a horrible stalemate, and maybe the 50 TP is going to be able to out-trade me with this 560 alpha damage. I really think that a tank like this is going to do well against the medium tanks. Its armor will work out well. One thing I just noticed is, whoa, look at that big machine gun on the back of the hull. I really hope that doesn't count as a hitbox. I'm pretty sure it won't count as a hitbox. If it does, that's going to be absolutely horrific. We'll have to see later on in the gameplay if anyone decides to try and shoot me there. So this vehicle's currently under NDA, so I don't think many people will know how to play against it. That's something that I always try to consider when I'm doing these previews or reviews, when lots of people haven't actually found out about the tank yet and they don't know about the weaknesses that the vehicle has. But considering this tank, as I showed with the armor model, doesn't really have too many weaknesses, I don't think we're going to have to worry about that once the community gets a bit more familiar with how everything will work out. Yeah, that guy isn't penning me reliably. No, not through the tracks there, mate. That's not going to work out. That's what 190 millimeters of penetration looks like against a tank that has about 230 millimeters of armor. I can imagine that this thing is going to be quite the apocalypse of the tanks, or the apocalypse tank. So I'm going to start to try and just get forwards and get harassing. I don't want to get shot too much in the side by the Borask. That cheeky little lad. I can tell that Borask is looking for me. He also wants to run away, I can tell. Oh, he actually managed to get a good side shot in there on my tracks. Well played, Borask. Well done. He's reloading, so I don't need to worry about him for a second. Can't quite get the Progetto. This is what happens when the enemy team have the high ground. And man, 5 degrees of gun depression on this tank doesn't feel too good right now. You know what I should probably do? Is I should probably actually just go and help the messing around that this 50 TP is doing. He's just absolutely messing around right now with this Progetto, just allowing him to farm. Why is he like just reversing up here? Well, am I going to do exactly the same thing? Why am I going and driving in the line of a bunch of autoloaders right now? That's actually not a very sensible plan, is it? Let's see if we can tap that guy. Whoa, right through the turret. Have to angle my armor here. Whoa, he didn't pen me. Wow, look at that thick side armor. You want to over-angle this tank, just like we showed in the armor model. All right, so the Yak Tiger looks like he's had enough of all of this kind of like pitter-patter kind of play. Oh, that's some bad gun handling. Some mediocre accuracy and bad gun handling there. And this guy's going to pen my lower plate again. He doesn't. He actually fails to pen my lower plate. That's hilarious how good the armor is on this thing. And I just track him in place. Okay, mate. Well, that time he actually went through my lower plate. As you would expect, because he does have 268 millimeters of penetration on the Italian medium tank. Alright, so there seems to be an IS-22 that's kind of caught out of position, but we're not going to be able to get him there. Maybe I can get the SU-130 PM, or who's down below me? Maybe the Scorpion G? We aren't going to get that Scorpion G. There's the SU-130 PM. Is he going to reverse out into the open? He only needs to come a little bit further back. Oh, yes! 424 damage right into the top of his tank. Alright, you know what? I think it's time to do a little bit of a little slippy down the slope here. Oh, man. Oh, this is quite a... Oh, I kind of bounced a little bit there. That's okay. That's what Soviet tanks are for, right? Soviet tanks are bouncing. Okay, so I don't want to really worry about the Scorpion G who's making his way over there. I want to try and get up into this position that you can see on my minimap and try and fight the STA-1. If I can get rid of the STA-1, then maybe my team can go and harass the artillery, and after that happens, then we should be good. Oh, hello, that's a big Japanese booty. 472. This tank does have 440 alpha damage. Wow, I'm just realizing the kind of situation that's coming into base right now. And this tank feels very sluggish. I mean, it's a lovely vehicle with regards to its hold down capacity, but it doesn't really feel like it has too much else going for it at the moment. But we'll have to see. We'll have to see. All right, so now I've got an awkward situation. Should I cap or should I go? If I go and cap, the Scorpion G could get me or the artillery could interrupt me. If I go back and try and defend the cap circle, and I can keep my team in it. I think I'm going to go and defend... Ooh, no. I'm actually not, because I'm just driving into a T-95 if I do that. That's not good. Oh, we made a mistake here. Hopefully the Scorpion G doesn't tag me. That's exactly what he's planning on doing. This is a big shot now. Oh, good. My friend got him. Don't know where the artillery is right now. Okay, so I kind of want to side scrape around this corner, like so. There's a big truck in the way. Will RNG favor me? No, it won't. Okay, cool. So the T-95, was aiming at me. I'm quite fortunate the T-95 didn't get me there. Got to hide my lower plate. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Oh no, he still clouted me right in it. That is a disaster. And he rolled for 600. Now we are not in a good position, boys and girls. Now the artillery can finish me off. And the T-95 is going to make his way up over towards me. Well, this is just bad right now. Don't come near me. The artillery is going to get both of us if you do that, my friend. Okay, good. The Emil actually just absolutely trounced that player. And now, all that's left to do is to try and get behind a T-95. Although this is a rather cumbersome tank, and trying to get behind a T-95 is going to be a very awkward thing to do. Should I just go for a retrack on the guy? That's what we're going to do. We're going to go in the side. I don't even get the tracking, but at least I get a little bit of spotting. And good night, sweetheart. Wow, that was a cloaking device on that T-95. Not too bad there. Alright, so 7772. I didn't really jump full in to this game. I didn't jump full in. I could have probably been a little bit more aggressive against those medium tanks. Now I know what the capabilities are of the vehicle. You know what? I'm actually going to go out on a limb and say that so far the statistics of this vehicle just don't feel like it's too strong. But do you know what? I think that's actually probably a good thing, because the last thing that we want is for this thing to have amazing statistics now, and then Wargaming to just leave it in the game, and we give all of the more active frontline players and all of the players who want to play the 1v1v1v1 Steel Hunter game mode, right? Some kind of overpowered tank like with the 279E. That's the last thing that we want inside the game. Okay, so not the best battle, not the worst. Get ourselves a second class, but nobody's really playing this tank. So I'm on top of damage and I'm on top of experience. It's not too bad. And as you can see, we don't have too much of a consumable resupply cost, as that repair kit is free. So don't think that this thing's going to be making big amounts of credits. That's because of the 50,000. It's the first game of the day that I've played on my premium account, so we get the 50,000 credits. So first impressions of this vehicle. Lower plate. It looks like it's quite poor, unless you're side scraping. The upper plate and the turret armor look absolutely phenomenal on the vehicle. The mobility is a little bit lackluster. I'm not feeling that power to weight ratio of sub 14. I could be playing a T10 right now, and I could be bombing it around. And I'd have better DPM, I'd have better gun handling. I'd have a lot of better aspects about the vehicle. And considering just how limited this vehicle is with regards to its speed, everything apart from its top speed at 40 kilometers an hour, it's a real tricky decision about where I want to go on Minsk here. If I go through the field and I try and maybe hold down there, the artillery is inevitably going to grind me out, and I'm at the mercy of any light tanks that try and make sneaky plays down here. I really feel like Minsk is won and lost on the west, and so what better place to take our Soviet tank through the streets of Minsk is to go down the west and go past, I guess, the circus, which is just over there. I believe that's what it is. I can't quite remember. I've been to Minsk so many times, obviously, because that's where my wife Tanya's from. It's a lovely city. I really do enjoy all of my time there. I'm not sightseeing, though. I'm trying to take out some tanks, so let's just try and take this 277 into the fray and be able to murder as many vehicles as we possibly can. Alright, so one thing that is nice, while I don't like the power to weight ratio of this vehicle, and I really felt it when I was going up a slope, doesn't seem like it matters too much when we're just going along the flat here. 40 kilometers an hour is still fast for a Soviet heavy tank. It's still fast for any heavy tank, let alone a Soviet heavy tank, right? So the Stritzfang 1030 is actually making his way into the middle of the map, but he's not doing anything about it. We saw that there's a Leopard prototype that's making his way up around here. Ooh, I think I will fight a Leopard prototype very well indeed. Well, he does have extra high penetration on his gun, and he's got worse alpha damage than me, but just a little bit. But I should be able to get some really good ricochets down here. One thing you got to worry about poking through this alleyway is that they can sit over in the A1 area. If they sit in the A1 area, we are going to struggle, let me tell you. If they sit in the A1 area, they will obliterate me. I'm going to ask my team to push forwards. I'm going to press my F7 key as well. I really don't want these guys to just leave me out here, because I could just get absolutely rushed by a bunch of tanks. That's what could happen right now. Luckily, we've got some nice little cover around here, so I should be okay. Sounds like the Boraska's fired one. Boraska's fired two now. Oh wow, he went through my lower plate even though it was angled at 45 degrees there. It's actually really worrying. I don't like that rate of fire. And remember, I've got this thing min-maxed right now, boys and girls. I've got the rate of fire min-maxed. I'm using a premium consumable. I've got brothers in arms. I've got it all. I wouldn't really side scrape against me, my friend. This is going to go really badly for you, I can tell you. To be fair, he did side scrape me pretty well there. But, man, yeah, this rate of fire is awful. What am I going to do? Fire HE at him? Maybe. If I was playing a T10, I think I could keep this guy tracked the whole time. Wow, that was interesting. He just totally disappeared off the face of the earth. We'll be able to go get him in a second, though. So there's a Stritzfang. Oh, is he going to go for me now? No. I don't think he actually spotted me there. That's interesting. If I think he might try and side scrape out again. So if I go far away from the corner, he might not expect that. And then he'll actually get into a position where I can hopefully be able to get him. He's actually doing a really good job of side scraping in a British medium tank. I need my team to spot the Stritzfang 1030, and then if the AMX spots the Stritzfang 1030, I can overmatch that tank. So there's no need to be too aggressive. There we go. That's what we needed. All right, I'm gonna make a push now then. We made a good spot. I'll overmatch this whole tank if I can hit it. Good lord. If I can hit it, that is. Oh, this is not World of Tanks now. Now I'm exposed in the side. And there's a big bus in the way of my view. Should probably disable those settings. There is a way that you can just take off. Wow, that was an interesting one. I just got tracked through the side there. I must have over-angled the hull a little bit. And through the side again. That's a disaster. This is just what I didn't want. Locked down by a Stritzfang 1030. I thought there would be sneaky tanks around there. Now I'm just going to have to really sit here and just be really boring. That's what we're going to have to do. We're going to have to sit here and be really boring, Twitch. Or am I? Wait a minute, I'm not streaming right now. This is so weird. I don't usually play live games on the YouTube. You're not Twitch. You're YouTube. Okay, we'll get there, though. Holy crap, this tank is so long. I can't actually side scrape in this position, which is a little bit bloomin' awkward. Hopefully we're going to get a kill eventually. No, not yet. But to be fair, I am locking down this flank. So look, while what I'm doing is not awesome... Oh, come on! No! Oh, this is not World of Tanks right now, I can tell you. This is not World of Tanks, boys and girls. This is exactly World of Tanks, Mr. QuickyBaby. This is World of Tanks like everybody plays it. Yeah, right. Oh, my lord. Come on, Mr. Stritzfang. I can't do anything about him. My E50 has just thrown his life away. There's an Su-130 PM down there, and my tank is so long that I can't side scrape out without exposing too much of my tank. And I got hit by the Stritzfang again. Now the Centurion can sneak up behind me. At least I got a kill on that. His vehicle's gonna burn up. I would not recommend to do that. 10 out of 10 not recommend. Oh, here comes the Borask. I wonder if the Borask realizes he can't really pen me unless he fire in gold. Okay. I think we found what this tank is meant for. Basically just baiting donkeys who don't realize that they can't pen it into trying to attack it. That's what it's there for. I mean, it'll just do so well against those tier 8 mediums. The problem is that I'm basically lit up by this leopard the whole time and I can't just drive out and get these guys. So I'm going to ask for help again from my team, and we're going to see if they're going to give it to me. But yeah, I can imagine this tank is going to be really darn solid for... I can imagine this tank is going to be incredibly solid for dealing with medium tanks and light tanks and lower tiered heavies. And I think the tank is going to really struggle against the high penetration vehicles. Alright, this WTF Panzer IV is aggressive, isn't he? Good job, sir. Good job. Alright. Who wants to kill that sneaky Stritzfang 1030? You know what? I bloomin' well do. I want to kill that sneaky Stritzfang 1030. He's been harassing me the whole game. Oh no! The guard took my honor. Why couldn't you have done that just a little bit before, lad? Why couldn't you have done that a little bit before? Alright, here we go. Aiming, aiming, aiming. This tank's forever aiming. It gets a kill! Hooray! Hooray! A second kill of the game. I'll take it. Good lord. Considering that this was a really nice matchup for the vehicle, I really feel like I should have done a little bit more. That is such a long aim time. It's a mirror. Oh! And you pushed me from behind. Why did you do that? Did he do it on purpose? Like, what was that? What was that push? Oh. Well done to the artillery. He just managed to get a double kill. That's pretty cool. A bombardier medal. I'm actually quite interested as to where that hit my tank, because that did 416 damage and also killed the Progetto. Well, you know what? If that Progetto hadn't pushed me, I would have got the first kill. And then if he hadn't been sitting next to me, I wouldn't have become some kind of bombardier medal with him. Oh well, that's life. That's life, right? That's life. Sometimes I don't look where I'm going and I'm aiming anyway and I say sorry, so that's the way it goes. Definitely not the best game I've ever had in my life. I finished 5th on experience, 4th on damage, and the SU gets 5 kills for 1,000. That's pretty good. Luckily, we can go on battle hits. Considering this is a well-armored vehicle, let's do a very quick shot review. So that actually hit me right on my turret ring, so no wonder it did so much damage. So that's a pen, lower plate, understandable. Bounce, bounce. That's actually a pen. That's really unusual. I know that tank has got about 300 millimeters, but wow, that really shows you that you can angle the armor like that, and it'll be very good against your tier 8 and tier 9 tanks. But as soon as you're dealing with tank destroyers or tier 10 vehicles, not so good. And that's a pen as well. That's bloomin' awkward. And that's a pen as well. Looks like he overmatched my belly. That's outrageous. Looks like this thing has about 30 millimeters of side armor then. So I don't really know. You know what? I don't actually like this tank as much as I was hoping I was going to like it. I mean, it's not a bad vehicle. It's a good... Ooh, I don't have accelerated crew training on. Wargaming wins. I don't really like it that much. I don't like the vehicle all that much right now. I feel like it's just going to be a generic grindy tank. I think you're going to be able to do some amazing things in the vehicle when you can side scrape because of the thick side armor and the fact that it's slightly angled towards the upper part. As we can see here, it's kind of like a bit of a curve shape, so that will really catch a lot of shells, and the tracks will provide you with protection elsewhere. I think the turret's very solid. Cupola's almost non-existent. Look at that tiny little height on the cupola there. But I just think that you have to sacrifice so much to be able to gain that lower plate armor. It's kind of like a T10 that sacrifices everything that's fun about the T10 to be able to gain a little bit better lower plate and maybe some side scraping capacity as well. I think this thing will be the apocalypse against tier 7s and tier 8s. And I think that this thing is going to struggle very heavily against the larger caliber tier 9 guns and undoubtedly the tier 10s, especially the tier 10s that are firing premium rounds, that's for sure. Alright, so Object 7772, assaulting on Siegfried line. Let's take it to the enemy team. So whenever I'm playing on Siegfried line, I know that bad things are about to happen if my team doesn't take the south. But this is not the tank to take the south, I can tell you. To take the south, you either need to have a good amount of gun depression, good turret armor, or you need to be sneaky enough to not get spotted in the first place. Oh my word, that Lynx is all in. I love that play. Let's go, Borask. You know what? Actually, now that my team is doing that, wow, these guys are awesome. Awesome. I'm going to press affirmative. I'm going to let them know that I'm going to support them as much as I can, and I'm going to go straight through the field, trying to go hold down maybe on these positions, and I'm going to try and help these guys out. Look at that. We'll spot this Object 704. We'll spot the 110. We'll put a round into his side, and we'll make sure that he doesn't harass my friends as much as possible, and we'll give them cover with all of this vision to allow them to hopefully take the south. And if they take the south, this will be absolutely amazing. This will be some really good teamwork right now if we can get this going. This is actually a really strong position right up until artillery hits me, I presume. Oh, they didn't actually manage to kill the Scorpion, which is very alarming. That Object 704 over angles. And the IS-3, whoa, look at that. We'll have to take a look at that one. On the armor model, looks like the side turret isn't as good as it possibly could be, but I'm happy to have taken those guys down. There's the Scorpion G that my team managed to whittle down a lot. I won't be able to get him around the corner though. What's this IS-3 doing? I should be able to obliterate this IS-3, that's for sure. Oh, right on the beak. Oh, can't believe that one didn't go well. This IS-3 really wants me. I'm really worried about the artillery, but I think the artillery are focusing on the other flank a little bit too much, maybe. He's just YOLOing shots at my turret. He's not actually aiming. Okay, let's make my way here, and then I can go hold down against him in this position. Oh, nice shot. 110 actually just burnt my fuel tanks. I have to repair those because I don't use a fire extinguisher on my heavy. Because I like to live life dangerously, and sometimes dangerously is not good. Alright, let's turn my tank to the side here. In case these guys are going to get me. Are those guys in a platoon? They're actually not. Thankfully, my Borask is now pushing in across the other flank, so that's great. Oh, I don't want him to shoot me in the side. Come on! Yes, that's brilliant. That's brilliant. My tracks are back on. Don't want to let this guy shoot me for free. That's good as well. IS-3 having to pull back. Oh, I think we're starting to find where this vehicle's meant to be. Right? I.e. in a position, just sitting in a hull down. It's so low profile. That's what this tank is for. It's a low profile little hull down monster. Finally, we're starting to get to grips with where we're meant to take this tank. What we're meant to do with this vehicle. Oh, right on the beak, lad. Right on the beak. Right on your beak. Okay, cool. Okay, so let's try and slinky in now. The Centurion's there. The artillery will be focused up. I'm going to ask the Borask to help me. Wow, this thing's actually quite voracious once it gets going. I'm a bit worried about getting tagged in the side by a bunch of tank destroyers here, boys and girls. Where are they going to be? Are they going to be on the left of me, or are they going to be on the right? There we go. The left it is. Alright, that Carnarvon might try and shoot me. He tracked me. I'm going to turn in for the WT. He thinks that I'm not going to shoot him. Oh, this is a big shot. This is for the game. Good. Oh! Okay, I have to get out of harm's way from the artillery. There's a Centurion on the side. There's a Panther 88 who's there. This game's looking really close right now. Do you think the Panther 88 is going to come around the corner? Don't want to get clouted by the WT. Panther 88 is right there. He doesn't want to get spotted though right now. Centurion and the WT trying to flank me. Alright, Centurion, let's do this. You want to do this? Well, apparently he does, because he just penned me as well. And I just bounced the Scorpion G. I need to turn my tracks in, go towards the Scorpion G, who seems to want to shoot me again. Yes! Okay, good. Don't want to get shot by the WT. He's running away. I can actually go after the WT now. Go help my team versus the WT. Is that Centurion going to shoot me in the side again? I kind of need an HE shell for this WT. This is not good. Yes! Woo! Okay, I'll take 5 kills and 4,000 damage. Oh! After the first couple of games in this tank, I was worried. I was thinking like, oh my lord. Is this what it's going to be like? And yeah, I mean, this is basically just a tier 9 Soviet heavy tank that can go hold down inside a nice matchup. Right, boys and girls? But I think I definitely showed you the full aspects of the tank here. You got to see pretty much everything. You got to see what the highlights of this vehicle are. And hopefully we can get a Top Gun! Nice, 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 nice. Good stuff. Ooh. So yeah, basically it's a hull down kind of heavy tank. I think if I was in a T10 this game, I don't think I would have blocked 2,600 damage. I don't think I would have dealt 4,000. I probably would have dealt 4,500, but my armor might have let me down before I was able to. Ah, we don't quite get the kill on the artillery, but I'll take that. I'll take a Top Gun in my third game, and that was 6,500 combined and 6 kills. Decent stuff. Yeah, that's the jam. That's what this tank needs to do. It needs to get hull down. It's low profile, very small hull. Decent turret. It's going to be great against everything apart from 152mm caliber guns. And if we play like that, then we should still manage to have decent rounds in the vehicle. And we didn't need to fire any premium rounds there as well, although it was a nice matchup and I wasn't having to deal with any of the cheeky vehicles that usually I would have to deal with in this tank. So there you have it, my first 3 games in the Object 777 version 2. Do I think the vehicle's crazy OP? Maybe in a tier 7 and a tier 8 game. I don't think that this vehicle against tier 9 tanks, and especially against tier 10 tanks, is going to be amazing. But if you learn to use the armor correctly on the vehicle, it looks like it's an absolute cockroach of a tank to try and dig out of a position that, as it's a very low profile tank, it's going to be able to use quite a few of. So let's just do a quick shot review. That was just an IS-3 shell into the side of the turret. bounce from the Panther 88, bounce from the IS-3. 110 went right through the side. That's understandable. Even though this tank is low profile, he could see just over the ridgeline there. Bounce from the IS-3, bounce from the 110, bounce on the IS-3, bounce on the Panther 88. That's quite an interesting one. That looks like we're over-angling, but that's just his low penetration. That's a non-penetration from the Carnarvon. But then look, the very next one, right into the lower plate, went in. Then we managed to have a non-penetrating from the WT, a non-penetrating from the Scorpion. That was a little bit lucky. This one actually penned. I need to angle more like that. That's the correct angle. That's not. But the problem is that if you angle like this and they roll high on the penetration stakes, they're going to go in. But if you kind of overexpose your lower plate, then the Carnarvon's going to shoot there. So it's a tricky decision to make. And I think that you've just got to make the best of the situation if you're caught out in the open and you're not stuck on a corner. So all in all, the Object 277 version 2. Early days for the statistics of this tank. Everything is subject to change. But so far, it's looking like a tank that sacrifices a bit of the mobility, a bit of the gun handling, a bit of the firepower to get very compact armor. I mean, just look at it. Just look at the profile of this vehicle compared to the T10. It's more like a medium tank, and it makes the ST1 look like a giant, for example. Get it on a little ridgeline and make use of positions, just like we did on Siegfried line, that not all tanks could make use of. And remember that if you want to get your hands on this vehicle, you're going to have to complete a good number of the stages, but not all of them if you only want to get this and you don't want to get the French vehicle that I'm going to be featuring on the channel tomorrow of the Frontline Grind or the Steel Hunter game mode. Anyway, ladies and gents, boys and girls, that was it for today. I really hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you hated it, give it a thumbs down. Let me know what you think about the Object 777-2 in the comments down below. Do you think it looks overpowered? Do you think it looks fairly balanced? Now that you know about its capabilities, are you going to be more inclined or less inclined to play Frontline? And as always, thank you so much for watching. You've been epic, and hopefully I'll see you soon.